Hey friends, if you're looking for quick tips to help you jumpstart your week, you are in the right place. I'm Lori Palau, host of the popular weekly podcast Organized Life, founder of Simply Be Organized, and every Monday I am here to bring you a quick organizing tip in under 15 minutes. All you have to do is click the subscribe or follow button wherever you're listening, and let's get started. Everybody, and welcome to today's tip of the week. I'm your host, Lori Palau, and we're kicking off a new month. And I am really excited because it's just that much closer to spring. And if you are watching this on YouTube, you see I still have a cozy sweater, turtleneck, and probably lukewarm coffee sitting on my desk from earlier. But I am hopeful that in the next few weeks, we're going to have some doses of spring. So, all my warm weather people, please will some warmth our way up here in the Northeast. Okay. So this month I am going with a theme. Okay. I want to talk about and dedicate this month to family organization. So each week for our tip of the week, we're going to be talking about a different area of family organization, why it's important, some practical things of like how you can actually become more organized with these specific areas. And today, I feel like I'm going to kick it off with one of the most important areas of the home that gets more play now, but it used to be really overlooked at least when I started talking about it. And now it's become a lot more mainstream, and that is the command center. So, again, for anybody that's listening out there, the command center is what I call like that mission control. And it could be set up anywhere in your home. Most people that I know of, including myself, it's in or near your kitchen because that's where you spend the majority of your time. And so it would make sense that the your command center is kind of like within arm's reach. I actually have a client right now that I'm working with, and she has this little like kind of entryway closet that's right off her kitchen, and we are converting it. At the time of recording, we're actually in the process of converting this into a command center for her because her kitchen doesn't really have a great logical spot for it without it looking like an eyesore. And this was an underutilized closet, not super big and functional for that, but we were able to steal and repurpose that real estate into something that's going to be, I think, a big game changer. And we'll be posting pictures of that. So stay tuned. But let's just start by talking about what are some of the key essentials. Why do you even need a command center? So, again, we want to try to streamline and simplify where all your things are. We want to know where our stuff is, have one central place that you can go to look for things. And the command center is that for, I say the moms. It doesn't have to be the moms, it could be the dads, but most of the people in my world, and including myself, the person who kind of owns, and I'm air quoting, the command center is the mom. I Moms typically drive the bus on this. I'm probably going to get some pushback. No hate against any dads out there, but what are some key essentials that you need in your command center? So, first and foremost, you need some sort of, this is where I charge and store my laptop or my phone, right? So that's kind of like where it goes. I have a charging dock there, and that's where my phone lives ideally when I'm at home. If I'm doing stuff in the kitchen, unless my phone is on my person, it is charging in the command center. That's where I store my laptop. If you're somebody who has like an iPad or any other device, that's where that's going to live. It's also the place where we've done episodes on mail before. We know we want to kind of immediately avoid or get rid of, recycle any junk mail, but any of the stuff that comes in to you physically, right? I'm not talking about electronically, but physically comes in, whether that means your kids are giving you a permission slip that you need to sign, although that's probably digital too, but or you get something in the mail that you need to respond to. It could be an invitation. You may have to call somebody about, like, maybe you got a bill in the mail and you're like, wait, I have to call about this. I already paid this bill. Anything like that that you have to do, you need a place for that stuff to live. And I like to have some sort of caddy. There's not like one specific one, but just you could find something that is upright so you can easily like file through it. And that is where you can store all of that. I call them your action files, right? Things that you need to take action on. But maybe it's not something that you're going to do right now. Instead of it just having a pile of papers, you're able to just easily put it in your action file. On the rarest occasions, you get something physical that you need to hold on to, like a new something renewal for your insurance, and you want to like keep that, and you're going to put that up in your filing cabinet or wherever you store your files. Um, that also there's also a separate slot for that, so you separate your action reference, and we've done episodes on them before. Okay, so what are some other key components of your command center? Another key component would be something visual that you can see quickly and that other people can see too. Just because it's your command center, it should be accessible for kind of the other players that might need to reference it. So in our case, it would be a whiteboard calendar, and any of the things that we had going on with, especially when the kids were teenagers or when they had things going on, we would write down so and so had a game, so and so has practice, this one has rehearsal, Josh is traveling for work, he's out of town, whatever that looks like. So we have all of those kind of like big, big picture things, not all the weeds of Josh's schedule and the kids' schedule, but like the bigger things that kind of impact the flow of the family. So you want to have that, whether again, that is just a regular wall calendar that's big enough for everyone to see, or you have some sort of like a whiteboard calendar. You could also, some people like to include like meal planning in there. I have that sort of off the side of my refrigerator, but you could also in your command center if you want to do stuff for meal prep. Another thing that I like to have in my command center is a bulletin board. Some people might not like this. Depends on what your space is if it allows for this. But I like to have a space that's dedicated to me just like pinning up things that are very, very like that I might have to access often. And I want to just see them at a glance. For example, I used to keep the kids' school calendar up there. So I want to be like, oh wait, I know it's on my, on my Google Cal digitally, but if I want to just look at the calendar of glance at a year and say, oh wait, when is spring break this year? Okay, I could easily go to it. Or I would download their sports schedule. So I will be able to see, oh, where's their game next week? Instead of flipping through my phone, yes, I have them all there, but I could just take a look at the full event calendar at once. So I would post that up on the bulletin board. Also, if there were, sometimes you get like those flyers in the mail that, oh, you're due for an eye doctor appointment or a dentist appointment. Sometimes I will just put them there as a reminder before I have the appointment. I usually keep it in my action file to know to schedule it, but then once it's scheduled, I will oftentimes just put it up on the bulletin board until I actually have the appointment. And that's just another thing that you could do. Also, this is a good thing if you do, like I said, have permission slips. You could put it in your action file, or you could just say, hey, they need to go to school on this day and they need to wear blue and bring in $10. I don't know, making that up. You would just have all that stuff to kind of together in that one area. Okay, what are some other things that you need in the command center area? So maybe you don't have a dedicated desk, but maybe you're repurposing like a cabinet that you could steal like a drawer. You don't need a ton of space, but I do think it's important if you can to have like a little drawer area that you could have kind of utility stuff. So what's going to be included in there? You're going to have pens, pencils, a stapler, some tape. Uh, you're going to have paper clips. You're going to have stamps for any and envelopes if you have mail. That's where we keep our checkbook. I mean, I rarely use it, but it lives in my command center in case that's where I need to go. A ruler, post-it notes. So it's sort of like in my organized utility drawer for just all the things that is specific to allowing me to quick sign something, or again, pop something in the mail, or attach something with a paper clip, whatever it is, write myself a note. So those are some of the kind of key essentials that I use. If you don't have the luxury of having a drawer, you could get a small desktop little like roundabout caddy that can allow you to kind of put some of those things in there, scissors, ruler, pens, pencils, all that kind of stuff. And then this is another one, which again is a bonus. I like to have this here because it's where I sort the mail. I have a shredder, a small, and now again, they can handle so much, these smaller shredders. So I have one that slides right under the desk. It's very, very low profile. You can shred, I think, up to like 10 sheets at once, maybe even 20. And it's great when if I bring mail in and it is junk, or I do pay a bill and then I'm like, oh, I don't need this, I just want to shred it. I have that shredder right underneath. So it's right at my fingertips. So I don't have to go, oh, let me take this upstairs to my office. And then it's just another step. So if you have the luxury of being able to keep a shredder, and also that would require you having some electric, which I would hope that you would in your command center, because again, I want you to use it as a charging station as well. So if you can find room for you to just have that, to get rid of all of that paper clutter in one full swoop, I think that also is a game changer. So again, your command center essentials. It is really important that you have all of these kind of moving parts that you need, the grab and goes quickly at your fingertips so that you can access them. You want your command center to be in a central spot so that it's easy for you to access when you're doing multiple things, whether that's helping the kids with homework, whether that's cooking dinner, whatever that looks like. You just have this one central spot so that you don't have to necessarily go upstairs into another room, down the basement, whatever your space looks like, to go, across yonder to go put something on your calendar or update something. You want it to be very, very accessible and functional for you. So again, tip for today, command center essentials. Want to make sure that you have all of that down. If you have any other questions about it, check out our website. We've got a bunch of resources on there. And the other thing that I do want to let everybody know is, if you have questions, specific questions about something that is going on in your world, and you need and want to talk it through, you can book a strategy call on my calendar. It's something that I've recently started doing to open up my calendar to make myself more accessible for everyday folks that are just really maybe at a roadblock of what their logical next step is. And so I'm going to drop the link in the show notes, but it's super, accessible for people to come on, ask me your questions, and happy to help you wherever it is that you are struggling. So again, sorry, that ending was so. Again, thanks so much. I'm Lori Palau. I'll see you next week. Peace out. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this episode, please spread the love and share it with your friends. And if this is your first time joining us, make sure to click the subscribe button wherever you are listening so you never miss an episode. And while you're there, please leave us a review so other people know that our show is worth the listen. You can also find us on YouTube and Instagram at This Organized Life Podcast. And if you'd like to connect with us, you can head on over to our website at simply the letter B like boy organized.com, which is filled with tons of resources, including free downloads, checklists, links to our amazing organizing partners, and all of our digital offerings. I'll see you next week for another episode of This Organized Life.